with everybody focusing on LeBron James, this generation's GOAT, greatest of all time, has it really been Steph Curry the whole time? Let's dive in.
Top of the dome where the players get cracked. Chisney and cigars keep the game on track. ThaAuthenticTake, y'all better tap in. No fluff, straight facts, no capping.
First off, welcome to Top of the Dome, a product of the Authentic Take. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And now let's get into it. Obviously, I'm biased because I am a Warriors fan. But based on this play-in performance, like, I have to really be honest with myself that I did not envision the performance of Steph Curry at all. You knew it was lingering, that it could possibly be there, but what he did is just incredible. And in my text chain with, my friends and stuff, like, I just find myself repeating myself and just saying, Steph is the greatest. And I'm a Michael Jordan guy. I can't see Michael Jordan, stats might be, more, but it's just, to me, what I've seen in my life, he just cannot touch Steph Curry. Man, I can't believe those words came out of my mouth. So let's start with blast off my first initial thoughts. I think Steph Curry is the greatest, based on what he did in the playing game. And by the way, in that game, I thought Matherin was just gonna jinx us. But like Steph, like, to me, I was kind of cringing every time he'd run or something, and it was just kind of making me nervous. You just don't know how stable he is on that runner's knee, because even he said himself, I expected to be out 4 games, and he ended up being out like 2.5 months. So he just lit it up in the fourth quarter. I think until that point he had like 12 in like 3 quarters, and he ended up with like, I think, 35. And first of all, the whole team performance, I just thought it was crazy. Al Horford, Draymond's defense, and I've just really been down on Draymond this year, and he just was incredible. Eh, Porzingis, it was basically, some parts it kind of looked like the Golden State Celtics. Like, but I was loving it. And Steph, like, the thing about me is why he's the greatest is because you have like shots where it's just unbelievable. KP Porzingis is like on the bench just going, what the hell did I just see? You know? And then, like, I don't know if it was the same shot, but Steph makes an incredible three, and Jimmy Butler is all smirking, like pointing at Steph. You could tell he's pointing at him because you know what he's thinking. He's like, this is why I came here, because Steph is just incredible. You would be a mental patient not to want to play with Steph or have the opportunity. And just, on this blast off segment, to me, I just feel like this was supposed to be LeBron's era, and Steph dominated it. No one should be talking about anybody but LeBron James projected in this era. And I'm sorry, but Steph stole it. You wanna say things like he got KD's help and stuff, but I mean, look what LeBron's doing as he's chasing like maybe one last chip. It's just crazy what the little light skinned man has done to take over an era that was not his but became his. And the next segment is real or fugazi. And I gotta go with real, because this is real and it has credibility. Because when's the last big moment LeBron has had or KD has had? To me, the last thing, like, if you really look at it, the last great moment for LeBron was that bubble championship, which was in what, like 6 years ago. And then the last thing I really remember with KD is he stepped on the 3-point line and cost his team, to advance. And that's the year that Giannis won the championship. And you just see Steph doing this night in, night out, whether the games matter or they don't, with depleted rosters. He is just, this is real. He is the greatest of all time. And that's how I feel when you want to say if it's real or fugazi. It's definitely not fugazi. As far as a panic, but there's definitely room to panic as far as his runner's knee, because he said for the rest of his career is basically pain management. And coming into this year, I was like, man, Steph could play like 3, 4 years if he wanted to. Like he keeps himself in shape, his game day routine of what he's doing. He's not like losing a step. So, I thought that he could maybe play 3 or 4 years because he just makes it look so Steffortless. But this year kind of got it in question. I don't remember him really missing time like this. And you could just say it's a wash of a season, at least in the early part with all the injuries and stuff. But the only reason I would maybe hit the panic button is simply just because his age is getting up there. He's 38 years old and the injuries are starting to pile up. I mean, look at it. Last year, Minnesota went down with the hamstring. And then this year before the playoffs is the runner's knee. So it's kind of catching up a little bit, but we'll see what happens. I have my finger close to the panic button, but I'm not completely there yet. So, lastly, my authentic take of this video about Steph Curry being the GOAT is I think he definitely is. You know, I don't see people in awe of like the guys I mentioned before, KD or LeBron, like they're in awe of Steph Curry. Like the other guys, they kind of like they're like, yeah, completely respect them for doing what they're doing, especially at this age and the accolades that they've accumulated, the championships and stuff. But I feel like when people watch Steph, especially his fellow, NBA players, you're just in awe. He's box office and almost it makes adults and even like I said, the NBA players kind of act like kids because in the presser after the play-in, you hear Al Horford, who's like, I think he's 40, 41, and he was like, you just get caught up and you just forget you're on the court and you just watch Steph in all his glory. And you got to remind yourself that, oh, wait, I'm in this game too. I better stay alert and stuff. So I just think all around, Steph is just the greatest. Like in the Bay Area, we've had stars like Barry Bonds and stuff like that, like Joe Montana, Jerry Rice with the Niners. But Steph is just on a different stratosphere. And he's simply the greatest of all time. But let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This has been the Top of the Dome, a product of the Authentic Take. Until next time.
Top of the dome where the players get cracked. Chisney and cigars keep the game on track. Authentic take, y'all better tap in. No fluff, straight facts, no capping.